there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. One man, one microphone, one mission, one message. True News, the only newscast reporting the countdown to the second coming of Jesus Christ. And now for the most powerful hour on radio, here is End Time Newsman, Rick Wiles.
This is True News, 1 hour of uncensored news, views, and commentary. Welcome to the program. I'm Rick Wiles. Today is Wednesday, November 7, 2012. For those people who visited Trunews.com today, you did not find any news headlines. I simply did not feel like staying up late last night, as I have done for 14 years, to do research for hours so that people would have their news fix in the morning. Quite frankly, I don't know if I'll put any headlines there tomorrow or Friday or next week. I really don't know if I'll ever do it again. Truthfully, how much information do you really need? I mean, what is my job? Is it to give you daily updates on various degrees of darkness overtaking the United States of America? That's not my job. My job is to preach the gospel of the good news of Jesus Christ. And so I believe things have changed as of last night. What I did post on our site today is a painting by John McNaughton titled The Forgotten Man. It features a dark, dreary sky over Washington, D.C., and all the past presidents of America gathered together. Barack Obama is standing arrogantly in the foreground, in the forefront with his feet on the trampled U.S. Constitution. Over to the side sits a young man on a park bench. He's perhaps in his late 20s or early, the mid-30s. His head is bowed down. He looks very sad. Crumpled U.S. dollar bills are scattered upon the ground. The young man looks distraught and hopeless as he contemplates his future under Barack Obama. Some of the earlier presidents are trying to console the young American, while the other presidents stare at Obama as if they are saying, "What have you done to our nation?" I'm not a newsman. I'm a watchman. And my ministry as a watchman to America is now officially over. I am a preacher of the gospel, and I will go where the Lord sends me, where the people desire to hear the good news of Jesus Christ. There's no point in continuing the work as a watchman. I've known for quite some time that this ministry, this phase of my life, this 14-year chapter of my life as a watchman would come to a close. Again, I'm not ending as a minister, simply as a watchman, warning a nation to repent and return to God. The American people consciously chose to keep in power the most wicked, evil, vile person ever to occupy the White House. 4 years ago, you could say the American people were fooled by the news media and Hollywood into endorsing Barack Obama, despite knowing almost nothing about him. But you can't say that today. The American people know who and what he is and what he represents. He is a Marxist communist who wants to redistribute the wealth of Americans who worked to build a business to pass on to future generations. He despises that idea. He is a Marxist communist who seized control of the healthcare system and will install death panels to euthanize the useless eaters of society. He has seized control of part of the automobile manufacturing sector of the economy. He has seized control of a vast portion of the real estate and mortgage and banking industry. He has seized control of the student loan industry. Step by step, he is nationalizing America into a centralized Soviet-style socialist system. He presided over the biggest decline in the U.S. economy since the Great Depression. He has presided over the biggest drop of economic net worth by the middle class in the history of the nation. He declared that America is not a Christian nation. He used tax money to coerce nations around the world to end their legal opposition to homosexuality. He made acceptance of homosexuality a central part of U.S. State Department foreign policy. He supports abortion on demand, even the murder of infants partially outside their mother's womb. He is a secret closet Muslim who has used American might and money to advance and enlarge the Muslim Brotherhood's conquering of the Middle East. If he gets his way, he will install Sharia law in America. He sat in the White House and watched a video feed from a drone showing Muslims brutally murdering an American ambassador, 2 Navy SEALs, and a State Department diplomat, and yet he ordered American troops to stand down and not rescue them, and he got away with it. That's the man the American people endorsed yesterday. I did not want to believe that Barack Obama could be reelected. I just couldn't convince myself that this nation would embrace him. I wasn't enthused about Governor Mitt Romney, but I was terrified of 4 more years of Barack Obama. Now, here's a scary thought. If a mushy, milky toast, middle-of-the-road, moderate Eastern establishment Republican Mormon cannot defeat a Marxist Muslim radical, how would a God-fearing, Bible-believing, Constitution-honoring patriot defeat him? That's how far left the American public has moved. Ronald Reagan would not be elected today. In fact, Ronald Reagan couldn't win the Republican Party nomination today. The first words I heard in my spirit this morning when I got out of bed were immoral majority. Many of you remember the late Reverend Jerry Falwell's organization in the 1980s, the moral majority. America is no longer ruled by a moral majority. As of yesterday, this nation is now ruled by an immoral majority. Presidential candidates must assemble a coalition of constituencies to create a winning majority of voters. And you can no longer win the U.S. presidency by appealing to traditional morality. That strategy will get you defeated. The Barack Obama strategy was to piece together an immoral majority. The immoral majority includes feminists who reject traditional family values, women who want unrestricted access to abortion services to murder their infants, unmarried women with children who want the government to subsidize their lifestyle, homosexuals and lesbians and transvestites who demand legal covering of their abominations, immigrants who want amnesty for people in this country illegally, atheists and agnostics who despise Christianity, followers of the Darwinian evolution theory, the mockers of Jesus Christ, lazy people on welfare who want entitlement programs paid by people who work to support them while they don't work, the gun controllers, socialists and communists who want to replace free enterprise and private property rights with centralized socialist government control of everything, radical environmentalists who worship Mother Earth, and an assortment of Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, and followers of other religions, plus a bunch of other social, political, and spiritual misfits. That is the new immoral majority. And they now outnumber us. You may not want to believe it or accept it, but that's the hard, cold truth. Deal with it. If you think you're going to win the next election, you're really deceived. It's over. The constitutional republic of the USA is over. Accept it and move on. Leave it or live in it. That's your choice. Leave it or live in it. Flee Babylon or adapt to Babylon and suffer the consequences. You don't have any other choices if you live inside the USA. No political party or movement or leader will turn this country around. The American people have consciously, knowingly embraced rebellion against God. For heaven's sakes, the Democrats booed the mention of God's name during their national convention last summer, and the American people still endorsed them. How anti-Christ do you want the nation to become before you accept reality? I think the words that best summarize what happened yesterday came from Pastor Bob Oxier in an email to me this morning. Pastor Bob pastors a church in Lynchburg, Virginia. He said he feels like he's in the back seat of a fast-moving passenger van looking out the rear window, and we just passed the last exit to get off the road to Babylon.